The future of work is automated. Welcome to Aivora.
Open any AAA game from 2010. Shadows pool in corners. Creases look impossibly deep. Something feels heavy. This effect is everywhere, a cheap trick that convinced millions of players they were seeing realistic lighting. But it hides a secret. But here's the thing, actual corners don't look like that. Walk up to any wall in your room. The corner isn't a thick black pit. It's a soft gradient, filled with bounced light. So why did game corners look like caves? Which means for over a decade, game visuals were built on a lie. A shader algorithm that painted darkness where physics said light should be. The truth sat hidden in a single blog post from 2012, a post that dared to say corners don't look like that. The story starts in 2007. Crytek needed realistic ambient shadows without killing frame rates. Vladimir Kagellin hacked together a wild idea. Sample the depth buffer, darken pixels near other surfaces. Call it screen space ambient occlusion. It was a revelation. Here's how it works. For every pixel on your screen, SSAO looks at a few depth neighbors. If something sits close, it adds darkness. No need for complex 3D geometry. It's fast, it's cheap, and it gave us that iconic grungy look of late 2000s shooters. But the hack had a dark side. Objects sprouted ugly black halos. Characters looked printed onto the background. This wasn't occlusion, it was a screen space artifact. The halo became the signature of SSAO, and most players never questioned it. Then, in 2012, a graphics programmer named Simon Rodriguez published a post on his blog The Danger Zone. The title, "Corners Don't Look Like That," regarding screen space ambient occlusion. Let me show you what I found. He tore SSAO apart with brutal, delightful precision. Rodriguez pointed out the hidden flaw. SSAO only sees what's on screen. But real ambient occlusion comes from all directions, even behind the camera. He proved that a corner behaves like a light channel, not a light tomb. Screen space simply can't know this. He demonstrated with a simple scene. A box against a wall. SSAO painted the intersection black. But physically, light bounces off the floor and softens that edge. The black pit was a mathematical lie. It crushed energy that should have been there. That signature halo? Rodriguez showed it's an energy conservation failure. SSAO darkens pixels at a fixed radius without considering how light wraps around surfaces. The result is a dark aura, not an occlusion gradient. It's the single most recognizable artifact in gaming history. Drop a like if this surprises you. You've been seeing fake shadows your entire gaming life. The things we accept as realism are often just well-marketed hacks. That like tells YouTube more people need to know how games actually work. Real corners have specular reflections, microscattering, and interreflections. SSAO treats all surfaces as diffuse blockers. That's the hidden reason why SSAO makes everything look muddy and damp. Real life is brighter in the crannies. The industry listened. HBAO arrived, horizon-based ambient occlusion, sampling in screen space but estimating true horizon angles. It reduced halos, but it still couldn't see behind objects. The fundamental blindness remained. Then came ground truth ambient occlusion. GTAO used scene normals plus depth to approximate a multi-bounce result. It got closer to energy conservation. Rodriguez's critique had forced graphics programmers to think differently about ambient shadows. The ultimate lesson went beyond SSAO. Screen space is an illusion. Voxel-based AO like VXAO started sampling world geometry, escaping the flatness. Rodriguez's post became a cautionary tale: never trust what the screen alone tells you. Why does this matter? Because your eye knows. You may not notice dark halos consciously, but your brain feels the weight. Fake occlusion makes scenes feel off, claustrophobic, heavy. Real ambient shadows breathe. Rodriguez didn't just critique. He gave developers a North Star: energy conservation. If a corner looks like a void, energy has been destroyed. That principle reshaped real-time graphics. A single blog post changed the math inside your GPU. If you're building realistic graphics or love the hidden stories behind game tech, hit subscribe. I break down the algorithms that shape the images you see every week. No fluff, just the real rendering secrets. But screen space tricks still haunt us. Even today, temporal anti-aliasing produces ghost trails and shimmering. That's a hidden artifact most gamers don't understand, and it connects directly to the AO lie we just exposed. Next up, the invisible noise in every ray-traced scene, and how denoisers are secretly painting the image you think is perfect. We'll look at the AI that fills in what the rays miss. Subscribe so you don't miss it.